Hello and welcome to STEM with Mr. N, where I perform different demonstrations and explain the science behind what we're seeing. This week, I've teamed up with the charity Inclusive Skating ahead of the upcoming Winter Olympics to explore angular momentum. Let's check it out. Inclusive Skating is a world-recognised charity that provides events, activities, education and training for skaters with additional needs. Inclusive Skating helps all skaters live the dream and learn to skate with their families and carers in a supportive environment. To find out more, visit inclusiveskating.org. The perfect example of angular momentum is a spinning figure skater, as demonstrated here by Bulgarian ice dance champion and inclusive skating coach Christopher Martin Davis. Here's another example by Swedish inclusive skater Vilma. Did you notice that they spun faster when they tucked their arms and legs in closer to their body? This is because they are using the rules of angular momentum to control the speed of their spin. But how does angular momentum work, and how can you explore this without a pair of ice skates? This week, I'm going to show you 4 simple experiments that demonstrate angular momentum. First, I'm going to demonstrate 2 activities that explore the movement of angular momentum. For the first activity, you will need a bottle cap, a toothpick, hot glue, a sharp knife, and an adult to help with the knife and the hot glue. First, I'm going to pierce a hole through the centre of the bottle cap. The cap I'm using has a mark on it already identifying where the centre is. Then I'm going to push a toothpick through the hole until about 1/3 of it is through. Then I'm going to use my hot glue gun to seal the hole, firmly attaching the toothpick to the bottle cap. Now, holding the longest end of the toothpick, if I try and stand this up on the point of the toothpick, you'll notice that it just falls over. But watch what happens when I give it a spin. You'll notice that instead of falling over, the toothpick and bottle cap spin around on the table. This is a homemade spinning top. Before I explain how this works, let's look at the second activity. For this, you will need a bike wheel and string, rope, or a bungee cord. Using the hook on my bungee cord, I'm going to attach this onto my bike wheel through its quick release handle. If you don't have a bungee cord or a quick release handle on the bike wheel, you want to make sure whatever cord you're using attaches to a point at the centre of the wheel. When I hold the wheel up and drop it while holding the bungee cord, you'll notice the wheel just drops and lies flat. This time I'm going to spin the wheel before dropping it and watch what happens. You'll notice that the bike wheel stays upright while it is spinning, and it is also moving in a circle around the bungee cord. So what is happening in these 2 activities? You may have heard of Newton's first law of motion, which says that something sitting still will stay still and something moving will keep moving unless a force like a push or a pull changes that. This idea also works with spinning objects, but we use slightly different words. Instead of a straight push or pull force, we use the word torque, which means a twist, like turning a door handle. Instead of speed, we talk about angular velocity, which is how fast something spins. When both the spinning top and the bike wheel are still, and I let go of them, gravity acts on these objects, pulling them down. However, when the top and the bike wheel are spinning, they have angular momentum. Angular momentum wants to stay the same, which is called the conservation of angular momentum. Gravity is still trying to pull the objects down, but the angular momentum resists the change, and so it fights against falling. The bike wheel moving around the string is called precession. It's changing the direction of its spin in a controlled way. This is seen as a wobble in the spinning top. The faster an object spins, the greater its angular momentum and the longer it takes for it to fall over. Not only do these 2 activities explain how a bike rides along the ground and how a spinning top works, it is also essential science required to understand how satellites and space stations stay stable in space. In the next 2 activities, I'm going to explore how the speed of angular momentum can be changed in the same way the figure skaters we saw earlier control the speed or angular velocity of their spin. For this next activity, you will need a length of string, a straw, and a nut or washer. First, I'm going to tie a nut onto the end of my piece of string. Then I'm going to feed the opposite end of the string through my straw so that the washer is hanging from a long piece of string at the front and there's a short piece at the back that I can hold. Then, holding the string with one hand, the straw with the other, I'm going to spin the straw to make the string with the nut start swinging around. Once the swing is going, I'm going to pull the string through the straw and watch what happens. You'll notice that as I pull the string through, the nut starts to spin faster the closer it gets to the straw. Let's look at the final activity, which uses the same process in a different way. To do this, you will need a chair or stool that spins. I'm also using weights, but this is not essential. I'm going to sit on the stool holding two weights in at my chest. In a moment, I'm going to start the stool spinning with my arms tucked in to begin with. Then I'm going to hold my arms out with a weight in each hand, pull them in and hold them out again. As I do this, I want you to watch what happens to my spinning. You'll notice that when I hold the weights out, my spin slows down and it speeds up when I tuck my arms back in again. This is exactly like what figure skaters do to control the speed or angular velocity of their spin. By tucking the body in tight together, they spin faster, and by spreading out arms and legs, they spin slower. So why does this happen? I said previously that angular momentum involves torque and angular velocity, but it also includes the moment of inertia. The moment of inertia describes how easily something can be rotated based on how its mass, that's the amount of matter or stuff it is made of, is spread out. The less spread out something is, the easier it is to spin. This means that it can spin faster with less torque than something which is more spread out. When I'm spinning on the stool with my arms tucked in, most of my mass is in the centre where the spin is. When I hold my arms and weights out, I have spread the mass out further from the centre. This means that angular momentum needs to work harder with the same amount of energy to keep me spinning, so the spin slows down. When I tuck my arms and weights back in, my mass is focused in the centre again, so my angular velocity, or speed, increases. When Christopher does his spin, he speeds up as he tucks his body in tight, then extends his body to slow and come out of the spin. This is also the same science astronauts use when they turn their bodies in space using just their arms and legs. The same thing happens in the experiment with the nut hanging off the end of the piece of string. When the piece of string with the nut on it is long at the front of the straw and I start spinning it, the spin is slower. But as I pull the string back and that mass, which is the nut, gets closer into the straw, which is where the spin is, you'll notice that it spins faster. This is because the mass is coming in towards the centre of the spin, and when the string is longer, the mass is further away. So again, it's using that moment of inertia to change the angular velocity. So now you know some of the hidden science in figure skating and will be able to explain what you're seeing in the upcoming Winter Olympics taking place this February. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. A huge thank you to Inclusive Skating for supporting this video by sharing footage of their skaters, and to Christopher Martin Davis for filming a great example of a figure skating spin. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date on all future content. As always, I would like to take this opportunity to answer any science questions you have about any science topics at all. So feel free to email me at stemwithmrn@outlook.com and I'll get back to you with answers to your questions. You can subscribe to the channel by pushing the button here, and I've added links here to the other STEM demo and explanation videos I do, here to my series of STEM career interviews, and here to my series on science fiction to science fact. This has been STEM with Mr. N, exploring angular momentum.